What up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Austin. This is Austin's Off-Road Garage. And today we're doing a few maintenance items on the Toyota here behind me. This is my 1986 Toyota pickup and we're getting it ready to go wheeling down in Sandhallow. So let's dive right in and get a few things checked off the list that I've been wanting to do to this thing for a while. So let's do it. All right, so we got a few things going on here. We have T-case mounts from Trail Gear. There's our bomb-proof mounts. We've got a new cross member going in. We've got this new coil and igniter setup going in here as well. The mounts are just bad. And then this cross member here is a factory cross member, but it's been notched for the driveline. I need to get an aftermarket one, honestly, but this one was free. And I traded some other 400 parts for this stuff. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna install these T-case mounts and the cross member. I got it all parked on the lift. So let's get the truck lifted up and then we'll get these installed. The old ones are just all clapped out. I'll show you those once we get under there. Then my brake lines, my front brake lines are currently zip tied to the links. Let me show you that real quick. You can see that right there. It's pretty ghetto. It's been that way the entire time I've owned the truck. So, but I've actually had these for like 4 years. So we'll weld these tabs on, put those on. And then the truck's just been running really not very good. So I want to clean the mass airflow sensor. I want to put the new igniter on and the coil. That's what that actually is. And then even check the plugs, maybe see if we got something going on there. It just, when it warms up and it will die and it won't run very good. I don't know, probably a bad fuel pump or something like that. I don't know. I don't think I've ever checked the fuel filter or nothing like that. So we'll slowly get there. But as for today, we just got a few small items on the list. And like I mentioned before, we're gonna head down to Trail Hero. It's down in Sandhallow, Utah. It's in Hurricane. And we're gonna go mainly just watch, might hit a few trails with my brother. And because I've got to fit 3 people in this single cab, so I don't really want to get too sketchy. But we're definitely gonna hit a trail on this thing because it's been a dream of mine to get down there. But I'll stop jabbering and let's get this truck lifted up and get those T-case mounts replaced. So just real quick, I had my grandpa, who's an electrician, come down here and get this lift all professionally wired in. And he did something super awesome. Where's the other end of it? Here. So this, don't mind all my crap over here. So this is the up switch for the lift, and he put it on like this 20-foot extension cord so that we can get it all around the entire vehicle and make sure that our lift points are good. So thanks, Grandpa. That was awesome. But let's lift this bad boy. Oh man. Let's lift this guy up here. This thing is so tall. This thing's gonna droop out like crazy. Hopefully my lift is tall enough. might need to strap the axle. That is so sketchy looking. Alright guys, so we got this lifted in the air. Got it all drooped out. Get a good look at the 3-link here. So the reason I'm putting this notch cross member in here is this reason right here. We're making a little bit of contact and it looks like it's been doing it for quite a while. So we'll get that fixed, and then right here is our T-case mounts we're going to replace, and you can see right here that this bushing is just completely ripped. So what I'm going to do, I don't have like a transmission jack. So I'm going to take a ratchet strap, a couple of them, ratchet strap this up in place, and then we'll undo all this and drag it out. Hopefully it's not too sketchy, but it should work. Alright, so I've got my 2 ratchet straps, one here, one on the trans, and then one on the actual transfer case. So what I'm going to do is undo these 4 bolts. They're 14 mils. They should just come right out of here. Alright, so we got 3 of the bolts removed. This one's out. It's just kind of stuck because everything's kind of shifted from the weight. So I'm just gonna pull this off super carefully. Man, that thing is way tore up. I never realized how bad that was. But I'm just gonna undo these 2 bolts per side. Or actually there's 4 because there's 2 on the other side as well. And then we'll drop this whole cross member out, and then we'll put our new mount on here. I haven't touched this since I put my dual cases in, which was 8 years ago. So these bolts are hammered too. You can see how like stripped out they are. But making progress. So let's get these bolts undone. Hopefully they're not too corroded. I sprayed some PB Blaster on them. So we'll see how that goes. Gotta love Milwaukee. This thing's never been stopped. But I gotta set you down because I got 2 bolts holding this whole thing in, so. Alright, so I gotta, I'm gonna have to get some ratchet straps and ratchet strap my axle to my frame so I can keep this drive line off the cross member so it doesn't fully droop out, or else I'm never gonna get this thing back in place. Let's see. What I'll probably do is lower it, ratchet strap it as tight as I can, and then lift it again, which sucks, but you live and learn. Okay, so I've got it ratchet strapped around the frame to the axle on both sides. It's kind of weird, but whatever. And that's just to keep it from drooping out, like I said. So let's go ahead and raise it and see if looks like that worked. you doing? And there we go, it's off the cross member. We got the old cross member out, and you can just see how separated that piece of rubber is from that piece of metal there. So now, I don't know why I didn't do this first, but we got to take out these screws in here. Looks like I'm missing one. So I'll just bust those out real quick, and then, well, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I got to get the screws out. And then our new mount is right here. We'll take we'll find another one, and we'll just bolt it onto this cross member. And bam, and then we'll bolt this in. All right, so we got the bolts removed. We got the old one out of here. I did find a couple bolts for the new one, but we're gonna scratch this, and I got something better. But in the meantime, what we're gonna do is, so my brake lines have just been zip tied to these links like I showed you earlier. So what I kind of figured out is I took them apart. I have these little tabs, and basically I don't want to pinch in between the frame and the link here. So I kind of bent this hard line. I should really just make new lines, but I don't have time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this tab to the shock tab here, and then it's just going to run down and then up, and it shouldn't hit anything. Everything should clear. It should turn fine. All that fun stuff. So got my little mark there. That's where we're going to put it, like that. Made sure I can still get that bolt out if I need to. And still got to get this side apart. I'm letting it soak in some WD-40. These things are old. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this has bugged me for a long time, so I'm glad to finally be out here getting this done. Brakes are kind of important when you're wheeling, and I've literally had these in my toolbox for 5 years or so. So got the welder out. We're gonna hurry and just throw a couple tacks on here, and then we'll see how we like it, and we'll go from there. It's hard to see. A little tight in there, hard to see what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I think we need a little bit more heat. That sounds better. Alright, so we got this thing all welded in here. It's super sweet welds, dude. But just a little black spray paint. We don't like rust around here. A lot of black spray paint apparently. We'll let that dry, we'll hook it back up, and that side's done. Yoo! Alright, there she is, all finished up. Had to throw a little tack weld on there because this setup is backwards and I couldn't use the clips that slide in here to lock it in. It's upside down, but I couldn't get it to work any other way because without changing my fittings. Probably the only other thing I'm gonna do is add a tab to the frame here for this mount, so it's not just wobbling and it won't get pinched in between the frame and the link here. That's like my main concern right here, is pinching that and then ruining my brakes. But that worked out pretty well. I mean, it's not amazing by any means, but it will work. So we've got this side all wrapped up, and I've got this side all ground down, and it's kind of hard to see, but I got this marked out where I want this bracket, this tab. So let's go ahead and get it welded up. Nice. All right, guys, so I just bought a new toy. Check this out. It's a Pitster Pro 125 pit bike. This thing is freaking sweet. I just bought it for the heck of it. Let's give it a rip. Raining Saturday. Anyway, I was gonna take this out to the cabin this weekend to make a video. We'll have to do that another day, but it's too much fun, dude. I need to get a full size. But got this girl all tacked in place. Bam, bam. Now we'll just hook it up, throw some paint on it, call it good, and then we gotta finish this up. All right, so something else we're gonna do that I just remembered that I have is I have this axle truss. Yeah, it's pretty hammered. Sat in the bed of my truck for a couple years to the when I sold it, I just threw it back there and then it never got put on. So it just sits on your front axle like this and prevents your axle from getting bent somehow. So gonna take the grinder, clean off all the paint in the areas where this is touching. It actually fits really good just as it is, giving a nice gap. There's no huge gaps anywhere. Just run a couple like 3-inch welds all the way. I don't think I need to fully weld this thing. Get one here, you know, all the way across the front if I can on the top, and get this axle trussed. I'll probably just hit this with a flat disc and get all this rust taken off it, and then we'll just paint it black once we get it all welded on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna put a nice bevel on these edges too to get that, so we can get the weld nice, all that fun stuff. So let's start grinding and get this thing welded on here. All right, guys, we got the axle all prepped along with this piece. Got it all nice and cleaned up. It's all fitted up nice, front and back. And we're gonna go ahead and throw some welds on this. I got this clamp here, just kind of holding it in place where I want it. It's not necessarily needed, but we'll just keep it nice and tight so it doesn't move on us. And there's gonna be some tricky spots, like right here is gonna be kind of tricky, and on the back side right there in that same spot. Probably just throw like a tack. I don't even know right here. I need to cut this off. This was a steering stabilizer, but I don't really drive this on the road anymore. But I have these straps here, so I couldn't really get these in here or cut these off. So let's start welding. All right, so we got it all welded up, and I ended up welding this whole front side and then blending it in so it looks all smooth when we get some paint on it. The other side, got it all welded up. Got the top done too. I'm not gonna worry about that end. I can't really get it welded on it anyway. So let's spray some black paint on here, and I think we'll call it a day for the truss. Still got to do some stuff to the 22RE, and then I think that will be the end of that video after we get the engine worked on. Stuff is running. All right, what up guys? So today we're finally gonna wrap up working on the Toyota, getting it ready for Trail Hero. So I originally showed you guys I was gonna put this cross member on here. It's been notched, and new transfer case mount because we're hitting the drive line. So what I ended up doing is I bought a Trail Gear dual case skid. So let me show that to you guys. All right, so here she is. Dual case skid from Trail Gear. I really should have just built my own, but I'm pushing time here, and this one was cheap enough. And yeah, can't argue that. So let's get it on. Well, first let's degrease it. We'll pressure wash it, little degreaser, and then we'll slap it in there. Sweet, so they got that all cleaned up. Now, what I'm working on is I just ran a die down these bolts. These hold the transfer case mount onto the transfer case, and they were all like just barely hanging on. They were just barely hanging on by, you know, just they were all kind of stripped out here on the ends. So I just ran a die down it, kind of clean up, chase the threads again. And now I'm also doing the same thing on the transfer case itself. If you can see up in there, it's just clogged full of dirt and grime and just a bunch of nastiness. So what I want to do is just clean them up. I'm going to do all 8. So we can get these bolts in here nice. They don't strip out. And then we'll, oh, also I need to go buy like a countersunk Allen screw for these holes, and they also need to be longer. Unfortunately, it's about 9 o'clock on a Wednesday, so we'll be finishing this tomorrow. This one's kicking my butt for some reason, but we'll keep pushing through it. And I know I'm not really complaining, but just like small things like this that hold you up, especially on a time crunch, it's not very exciting. So I'm just gonna chase these threads, and then you guys will see me tomorrow. All right guys, so we've got all the holes tapped out like I said, and these bolts chased, and we've got this bomb-proof motor mount installed. So now we're gonna lift this into place with the assistance of my beautiful wife and my little boy. I'm gonna lift up that. She's gonna put a couple bolts in, and then we'll get this thing put in finally. Also got some nice hardware that I set down somewhere. We'll find that later. But yeah, let's put it in. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, so this is kind of a sad moment here. We ended up having to put just this kind of ghetto notched cross member in here. I mean, it is what it is. I ran a factory one forever, so it's better than nothing. This cross member, however, is too wide. These bolt holes do not line up. This is for a newer generation pickup. I did not know that when I bought it. Kind of sucks. He told me it would fit an 86 pickup, but it doesn't. This is how I feel about it. It says this took forever. But it's in, it's good to go. I'm gonna lower it, take these straps off the front and see if it, I mean, it's gonna hit because these are strapped and look how close it is. But it is what it is. I'll either modify that one or completely build a custom one. And I'm not gonna be able to run a mount on the back here because this adapter right here, this is from Marlin Crawler. It's a dual case adapter. It is clocked 30 degrees. So you can kind of tell from this motor mount to here, you can see that degree change there. And I'd have to make like a custom motor mount or something anyway. Not a motor mount, transfer case mount, but yeah, so we're gonna lower it, test some things, and then I think we're gonna call it a video on this one. I was gonna put the coil and stuff in, but I wanna go wheeling this weekend just to get this thing, just do like a little test run and make sure this thing's dialed in, it's running okay. Another thing I wanted to check is to make sure that when this is at full droop, that the brake line still has play. So we're good there. And we're good on this side too. So that mount that we installed right there actually worked perfect. So that's good. Another thing I was curious about, let's keep going on this lift. Yeah, we're at full droop there. Is, yeah, we're not gonna have any clearance issues with the cross member. Let's actually go up, and then we'll push this in. We'll go down to full compression, and we'll see if that is gonna hit anything. Oh no, perfect. So yeah, everything looks like it worked out good. We're gonna end this video right here, like I said. The motor stuff's pretty simple. It's literally just plugging a spark plug wire and one connector. So let me know what you guys think. Doing a little maintenance on the old Toyota here. I know this channel is mainly focused on my 4Runner, but we're gonna wheel this thing hopefully on some pretty gnarly trails down there. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you go check out my Instagram. Post a lot of stuff on there all the time. Keep up to date on projects, stuff like that. Check out the Facebook page. Haven't really gone anywhere with that, but check it out anyway. And yeah, we're still working on stuff around here. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. And if you don't subscribe, maybe think about it, you know. So all right, guys, we'll catch you on the trail.